Hey, welcome to the Oh Grow Up podcast. With me today is a new friend to the podcast. You will be able to see him tonight at the Club Palms at 8 o'clock, 7:30 door. And then November 14th, you'll be able to see him at Tracy's
Good
show,
Lord.
Looney's, the hoedown over there. It's going to be Bren McDaniel. How's it going, buddy?
It's going all right. My back hurts so bad.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
you
I
need
know.
to
It's
stretch.
not. It's no. I'm good. I'm a man. I don't do that.
No, you got to stretch, bro.
I don't want to do that. I have like this like back roller at home, and I just every once in a while I'll just like lay on it and then like do like the thing where you just go like.
Yeah.
And then it just like it pops the shit out of my back, and I'm like, all right, cool.
How often are you doing that?
Once every 4 months.
Yeah, probably do that like once a day.
Yeah, I'll be hammered in my living room and see it, and I'm like, oh, good Lord.
I will tell you, being 38, I'm now focusing on my late 40s. Stretch
Oh,
every
God.
fucking day. You
Yeah.
don't want to be that guy like at 43 where he's just like completely like hunched over. And
I think
fucked up.
that's very masculine to just be broken. So I'm gonna
Ew.
do that, man.
So you can have your wife drag you up the stairs and all that.
Yeah,
Shit? Fuck that.
I would love to be the guy in a wheelchair by 60.
No.
My personality. I can't even talk now. I'm gonna crack open this liquid death.
Don't let the studio scare you.
Yeah.
Well, do you plan on having kids?
I like the idea.
If you had a daughter, don't you want to walk her down the aisle with like some kind of functioning mobility?
I would rather her push me in a wheelchair. That's pretty cool.
We are in two entirely different phases of our life.
Yeah. I just want to be a nuisance to people, I think. Like when I'm an adult, because I'm like, I don't know, I've like worked long enough. I get to just be waited on all the time. I have like
You said you're old enough to be waited on now.
well, when I get to that
When you
age,
get to that
when
age,
I'm like
okay.
crippled and I'm like crushing like a piece of charcoal into a diamond is what I'm doing. I'm just like,
I'm going to
like
send the
that.
highlights of this to you when you're 60 years old and see how many things you regret.
Oh man, no, there's gonna be no regrets. You know why? Because I get the biggest and nicest stall in the bathroom every time.
That is true.
Yeah,
Unless I have my son, then I totally take over.
yeah, that's my birthright.
Holy shit.
I
So
need room when I shit.
I do like that. I like the power bars too. You fucking hunk down and
The what?
the power bars that they have on. They're supposed to be able to pull them up, but you get a nice power shit going. There
Oh
too.
yeah, no, yeah, because like I don't remember the last time I had a solid bowel movement. So like anytime I'm like out in public, it's just nice to like have something to hold on to, and like while you turn that bathroom stall into like a confession booth.
Yeah.
I'm confessing to shit I haven't even done. I'm like, Lord, make it stop.
So you don't stretch, you don't eat right. Like, I'm glad
No.
you're at least hydrating on my podcast.
Yeah, just because I brushed my teeth for the first time in 4 months and I'm dying. That's not true. I brush my
Wow.
teeth all the time.
So props to you.
Sure.
This is the first podcast where someone's like, "Hey, cool podcast. Let's be on someday." I'm literally like, "What are you doing?" I think it was like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I have no idea who you are.
Yeah.
I'm really I might have a MAGA person on here. I might have a crazy blue-haired person under there. I have no idea. So let's talk
see.
politics for election.
Yeah, that's cool.
No, let's
yeah,
not.
that's cool. Let's talk about Tony Hinchcliffe. Everyone's got an
Oh my
opinion.
God. I love that he's getting out to that level.
Yeah, that's
It's-
super cool.
It's kind of dumb though that during our political rally we get the roast comic. Though.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I have yet to hear one opinion from either side of the spectrum that doesn't make me want to throw shit in my house, because it's just the whole thing is the dumbest thing on the planet. I cannot because one, I didn't even think the joke was that funny, right?
It was a classic misdirect, but you're like,
Yeah.
"Man."
Well, one of my good buddies, he's got the exact same joke, except the punchline is like England.
Okay.
So it's like, and then like it's something you'd hear at an open mic, and then
Yeah.
like there's the whole argument like, well, this is comedy, like you have to let us work, and I'm like, you're at a rally like 2 weeks before an election, like there's a time and a place for this kind of shit.
I love with JD Vance, anytime somebody makes any kind of like edgy thing, he's like, I haven't seen it, so I'm not gonna. But
That's why that's me to a T. I'm
well,
like,
what he does is, so he goes, I haven't seen it, but my takeaway is we should all be able to take a joke. If I sat on this podcast right now and said something about Christian nationalism or anything shitting on Christ,
yeah.
he would be the first person like, there's no space to joke about this. That. It's like, no. When we joke about the stuff you want to joke about, it's all cool. But like when we joke about your shit,
yeah. See, that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. Is like everybody that you talk to that does the whole like comedy. Like you can say whatever you want. Like as soon as those people are usually the most sensitive people around.
I know comedy, and then they're the first one.
And then like they get mad about the whole like Tony Hinchcliffe shit. And I'm like, you're kind of being hypocritical. Like if you were sticking to your guns, you'd just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
So
do you watch Kill Katona? You should, because a lot of local comedians from the Springs are actually going down there now.
Luke Stam fucking murdered a couple. He's been on there twice now that I know, and they killed both times.
I got a feeling he's going to be a regular on there.
Yeah,
someday.
Well, when he was talking about moving to Austin, I was like, yeah, like Kill Tony is exactly like your fucking speed, and it's cool to see him doing stuff. He just has to
get a good night with a good crowd and a good guest on there.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet you Tony's going to be like, hey, like, come back.
Yeah.
What I love, though, with if you've watched Kill Tony long enough, you know that a lot of the roast comics start to question his sexuality. When he does this joke about Puerto Rico, everybody starts just jumping into the internet trying to get all this dirt on him.
Mm-hmm.
At one point this week, I saw, Tony Hinchcliffe is actually a closeted gay. How dare he be standing up for the Republican Party and shit? Like, wow, this running joke is now something that's in the national conversation.
Yeah, because like anytime he starts talking to people, he's always like, so like, what's your deal? And everyone's like, I don't know. I've spent 20 years with my thumb up my ass, and then first time I ever want to do it. Yeah, yeah. and then like Casey Dean Fraser.
Casey Rocket?
No, Casey Dean Fraser is a local guy. My fault.
Okay.
Casey Rocket. Yeah, and then he like spazzes out, and then everyone calls each other gay.
Yeah,
and then episode over. It's pretty.
But a
cool.
bunch of thin-skinned people jumped on the internet looking for any dirt.
Yeah.
How can we make Tony look even worse? And then the running joke, like roast joke, is now like, oh, he's this gay person that's standing up for the Republican Party.
That's pretty cool.
So
I think he should have leaned into that.
Yeah. Show up with like a pride flag and everything.
Yeah, MAGA, like that'd be so cool.
So jumping into your life, how long you been doing stand-up? What age were you when that happened?
Excuse me, I'm so burpy.
We're drinking the liquid death.
I know.
Call me Liquid Death.
Yeah, right. So I've been doing comedy. It'll be 2 years this December.
Oh, wow.
But like, I don't even like consider, like, I was actually just texting one of my buddies about this today, but like, I don't really think like your first year in stand-up almost like counts. Because like, I wasn't even like writing, and then like, I didn't know what a joke was. I just rambled, and every once in a while, people felt bad enough to be like, "Oh, okay." Like they
Sympathy.
do be like that.
Wow.
And then, but no, your first year in stand-up really is just about like learning how people interact with each other. Because like, I mean, if you do stand-up, you don't understand people, and so like your first year really is. I'll use my buddy's example. He said you're just an intern. Kind of, and you're just watching other people fail to communicate and interact with one another, and then you just become part of the problem, and it's so cool.
I forget the comedian that said it's like learning so you learn to walk as a child. You do that in the privacy of your own home.
Yeah.
You learn the skills of a new job. You're doing that either at a technical school or in the privacy of like a cubicle. Stand-up comedy, to really learn this shit, you have to learn. You have to fall on your face. You have to learn all these processes in front of drunk people.
Yeah, at bar, and they don't like you. They don't want you.
They want you running. They're not understanding why you're crawling and learning to walk. Like they want you to be running full pace.
Yeah, exactly. And like, you can't explain that to them and like good, but it's just so funny because. When you start comedy or stand-up or whatever, you're just in like a bar doing an open mic. No one even knew there was going to be an open mic there most of the time. Yeah. And then like the people, most of the people who are there are other comics who are there to like do their thing. So it's just a bunch of just spite. And then you're just like, my dick is small. what do you do for work? And
Yeah.
you just like do your version of like bullshit.
Yeah.
And they, but it's fun. And then, you become one of the drunk people there, and then you just sit in the back and make fun of people on stage.
Well, I hope not.
No,
That's
but,
my
like,
biggest thing is I hate when people talk when other people are on stage. I learned that in middle school. I took
Yeah.
a public speaking course, and literally half of the class was about being in front of people. The other half was actually being a good active listener. So like I have these things ingrained with me. It's like you're not going to sit here and watch,
Yeah.
somebody while you're tapping, like a whole bunch of different stuff. So going into a bar, like all my pet peeves are like pinging off. Like this guy is speaking. We should all shut up. But
He's speaking his truth. And
Yeah.
meanwhile,
Yeah.
up there, he's
See
just
that
like,
asshole?
yeah, his truth is just, so my neighbor's gay.
Yeah.
What kind of dog do you think he got?
Talk about their porn fetishes. And
Oh,
shit.
yeah,
Like, we
that's-
need to listen.
Oh yeah,
actively.
I don't like. I just go outside, like a respectful, spiteful comic. I just go outside.
I do like that until like there's two people left.
Yeah, and it's I don't know. It's
It's you
just,
and the audio guy, just like, hey,
Yeah,
listen to my bullshit.
just like so. You still an alcoholic?
Yeah.
Me too, bud.
So you said originally you weren't actively writing and everything. What is your writing process now?
I usually just I'm like yelling at myself in the car. Like because like, I talk to myself like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like people think I'm like fucking nuts because all I do is like talk and like ramble to myself. And like because like I used to work at the Amazon warehouse, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and like people would like be walking by and I could tell when they would catch me rambling to myself because their pace would quicken and they're like looking over their shoulder like I was like following them, and I'm like, no, I heard something that made me really angry. Like.
They're wondering if Amazon covers like prescription antipsychotics and shit.
Like, give this dude Benadryl. He needs to fucking take a nap.
Or lithium or some good
Yeah,
shit.
I just ramble to myself all the time, and I'll like be in the car, and then like I'll just be listening or whatever, and then I just start yelling about whatever, and then like it just turns into whatever the fuck.
Are you retaining that mentally, or are you writing it down?
I write
put
it down.
in your
Like
phone?
I have like a little notebook, like a good little stand-up comedian. I have a little notebook on me at all times.
I used to have mine on me at all times, but slowly turned into my own wallet. Like this literally used to be, was that Moleskine?
Yeah.
The
See,
notebook. And
You showed me yours. I'll show you mine.
Yeah.
Let me whip it out for you, bud.
You're sitting on that?
No, this is in my front pocket.
Okay, I was gonna
couldn't-
say,
it's gonna make my back
your
worse.
Spine up.
Yeah,
Way.
I'm gonna have like an inverted ass cheek sitting on this thing. I already don't have an ass. Like my fucking
you have a
ass bone's
pen
gonna be
tucked
in my
in there, too.
lung.
I went to
Yeah.
a chiropractor, and he's like, "Yeah, you're lean to the left." And he's like, "What's in your back pocket?" So I pulled this out. I had a little thicker notebook in there. He's like, "You got to put that in your front pocket."
Yeah,
I'm like, that's not happening.
I put everything in my front pockets anyways because like I'm just afraid of getting pickpocketed. That's like a big thing I'm always like thinking about. Like anytime I'm in like a crowded area, I'm like someone's gonna put their hand on my
Yeah.
ass and I'm gonna be like, I love you too, and then I'm just like out $1,000 or whatever they take.
I'll do that in areas that I know are pickpockets. So like Disney World, went
Mm.
there a couple weeks ago. Just everything was my
There's
front
pickpockets
pocket.
at Disney World.
Highly crowded areas though.
Oh yeah,
So-
that makes sense. I mean, like I don't know, 8-year-olds. I hope aren't wise enough to start doing that.
There's a lot more adults than kids, especially when I went through. I went
yeah.
during the school year, so
Oh, that's
it
nice.
was like 50-50 blend.
See, that's the way that you got to go camping too. Is like during the school year, and
Yeah.
especially like on a weekday, because then it's just going to be other jackasses like you, just like spaced out. I don't really like camping. I've been camping like once or twice here in Colorado, and I don't like it.
Never done it with that like as a civilian.
I do
I've
it.
done a couple military camp.
I think that's
so.
just called war.
Yeah. Now we call it training, and everybody's miserable, and everybody wants to go.
Yeah,
home.
what exactly do y'all do like in the military? Because like you have an office job. You said you have an office job in the Air Force.
Yeah.
Like what does that look
so
like?
my office job. So I'm a heating and air conditioning technician. So I
for
will
the
go
for the
out-
military.
for the military. We have all you gotta. So when you deploy those aircraft, they need the support of the people and shit. So yeah,
People can't go to war with sweaty nuts. You got to
No.
make sure they're fucking.
you gotta make sure those servers are cold, all that shit. So.
Oh my god.
So there's part of me that does the HVAC for that heating
That's
and air
pretty cool.
conditioning. I'm currently in a job, though, that watches over everybody's federal regulations. So that's the office job that I currently have. So like OSHA, I'm sure you're familiar with.
I'm familiar
Every
with OSHA.
office in my squadron has an OSHA checklist that I have to make sure is answered correctly, all that stuff. So that's my office job.
So you're OSHA for the military?
Not quite. I just make sure everybody's answered. So if somebody says, hey, this is fucked up on my OSHA checklist, okay, cool. It's properly reported, but it's not my problem. I just have to make sure that answer gets to the right people. I'm not the person that has to go in and make sure that ladder safety is fucking...
Yeah. I don't know. It's always been funny to me that like the military operates almost just exactly like how we do, just with like more red tape involved. So
more inconvenience.
Yeah.
If I show up to work late, it's a fucking problem.
I know. You wait, like you get like 7 phone calls immediately.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but like on TikTok, I just get nothing but like military stuff. Like the TikTok thinks I'm in the military. I just think it's funny. Like what y'all bitch about is like funny because I can't relate to it. So the perspective is really funny, but yeah.
What are people bitching about that's weird too?
Well, not weird. It's just like funny. Like I don't know. Barracks bunnies are like a fun phenomenon. Like people talking about what it's like sleeping in the barracks, and like there's just like an audio clip of like some girl orgasming in the background or something like that, and it's like farts and stuff. And I'm like, cool, I relate to farts.
Number.
Yeah, I know, right? It'd be cool. Do you get a purple heart if you get chlamydia in the military?
Negative. It's only in
just a purple penis.
Combat. Yeah, purple penis. Little mushroom stamp on your chest.
Oh, gross.
Little leak, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. They just like put a bobby pin on it, and like you're good.
Yeah. Love it. What is your line of work? If we're gonna talk work,
I just lost my job like a few weeks ago at Amazon. Yeah, fucking.
Day shift, night shift.
Night shift. I was like working graveyard. It was awful. Like you go into work and it's dark, and then like when you leave home, it's dark.
Yeah, it's terrible for your circadian rhythm.
Oh yeah, I would like the worst my mental health has ever gotten is when I work at Amazon. It's like because it's already like fucking hell. Because like you could get a monkey to do that job, but the reason they don't train monkeys to do it is monkeys have rights. Monkeys can't sign a contract yet, so that's why they don't do that stupid fucking job. It's insane. And like, yeah, they like spend like half of your orientation threatening you. They're like, if you like, we have this thing called UPT. I don't want to like explain the whole thing, but it's like, hours essentially that you can take off at a moment's notice, like unpaid time.
Unpaid time.
Yeah, it works like currency. And they're like, if you go negative in UPT, we will take you out back and shoot you. We will find where your mother lives and throw a brick through her living room window if you go negative. And then they're like, if
Bezos has money like that.
He does. It's insane. I think Bezos should just like have a private military to himself.
Don't.
I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be cool.
Him and Tesla, yeah, they can start to have turf wars.
I would join the Bezos military.
Because what Tesla and Elon are in Texas. Where's the Amazon? I thought those guys were in Texas too.
I think Bezos is I think Bezos is from Texas.
So maybe they'll split Texas and then branch out from there.
That would I think Texas is just going to start swallowing other states. Like it's going to take Louisiana first.
Who would want Louisiana though?
Oh, my dad.
You're actually my third or fourth Louisiana. How much do you claim Louisiana?
It's on my dad's side.
Okay. So you have Jobert, you have Leger.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of my third comic is. How was your time there in Louisiana?
I was so young that I kind of really don't. I was just on like my grandfather's like watermelon farm, like hanging out and like dicking around and like shooting pears out of a tree with a 22, and it was fucking sick. Dude, it's sick. I love being on farms, man. They're the best.
Is that okay? So you started. Where were you born?
I was born in Powell, Wyoming.
Wyoming. How long was it before you moved to your next spot?
I don't remember.
Okay. What was your next spot?
Spokane, Washington. Okay. Because at the time my dad was in the Air Force.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in the Air Force for just like the couple first years of my life, and then.
Did he do a full career? Did he do?
Oh yeah, like
enlistment?
He did. Like he was like enlisted, I think, and then like he had like a whole tour and stuff like that. Or I don't know the terminology, but like he was in it for a minute, and then like he met my mom and me, and then married her, adopted me, and then got out like almost immediately after. Yeah.
What do you do in the Air Force?
He was a mechanic on on like cars.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
your
logistics,
machine gun
yeah.
cars and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what he did. He was out in like Saudi Arabia and stuff like that, just
nice.
wrenching on that stuff, and then
Okay. Gotcha. You said, how old are you?
when that happened,
I'm saying today.
today,
Yeah.
28.
28. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 years old, 3 years old when 9/11 happened.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, I know I remember it, but it's like a still frame
Yeah.
because like my memory doesn't really like it's still forming because like I know what the house looks like when I watched it happen on the on TV with my mom because I grew up watching like war movies like all the time, and like airplanes are like one of my favorite things. So I was watching like Top Gun, Memphis Belle, which is like my favorite movie of all time, and like all this like other like war shit as a kid. So when I was watching 9/11 happen, I started like celebrating because I thought it was cool.
We're going to war.
I saw the plane explode and I was like, that's sick. I love that. More of that. And then they did 20 minutes later and I was like, yeah. No, 9/11 was a tragedy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that was the general consensus of 9/11.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's just a handful of folks that think that's really cool that it happened.
Wow. So we said Wyoming to what was the other spot? Trying to think of your next state.
So it was Wyoming, Washington, and then I think after that it was Texas.
What part of Texas?
At that time, Waxahachie.
Where the fuck is that?
It's like 30 minutes south of Dallas, I want to say, or something like that. I think it's close to Corsicana, if you know where that's at.
Negative.
All
Was your
right.
dad at a base at that point? Or?
No, he was out. He was
Okay.
just working on like big diesel trucks and stuff like that. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Working for like United Rentals and stuff like that.
Okay. Then where from after that?
I think I spent a little bit in Louisiana. I'm not sure. That part of my life, it's like muddied. And then, but from Texas, I went back to Wyoming to live with my grandparents. And I just lived in Powell for a bit. And yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so when did your adulthood start? Like, where were you at when you were like 18, 19?
Texas.
Texas. Okay.
Yeah.
Were you interested in comedy at that point? Or?
Yeah, I wanted to do comedy. Like, I wanted to do comedy since I was like 16 because I would like DVR Louis C.K. specials.
Nice.
And then like I had I was like kind of latchkey as a kid, so fucking I'd have the house to myself and I'd like DVR a Louis C.K. special. And then when I was 16, I'd just like recite all of like the stuff along with like the special into like the like television remote. And then just like do that. Yeah, I had like
Oh, that'd be your microphone.
Yeah, that was like my microphone, and I was like
Louis
telling
is
the
a
jokes.
Hard one. So like where I parroted stuff I heard was Bill Engvall's "Here's Your Sign." When it comes to Louis, like his delivery, like his pacing, that'd be a really hard comic to parrot early on, even now.
Well, if you listen to something 30 times back to back, you'll get it down pretty quickly.
Yeah. Was this the subtlety of his personality at times, where his turn of phrase or his pause or anything like it's literally like another like level to layer cake and shit. Like it's
I
pretty
picked up,
wild what Louis does.
Yeah, I picked up his mannerism speaking like as a young adult, just because like I just thought like I don't know, and just being a fucking impressionable kid.
Yeah.
And I just thought he was like the funniest thing. I still think he's the funniest thing to ever happen. And then but I mean, even before Louis, I would watch George Carlin with my grandfather.
Yeah.
So that was like my introduction to comedy for the most part was, it was Adam Sandler and Jim Carrey movies and then watching George Carlin with my grandfather.
Nice.
And then
I so wish we could have Carlin just do one set.
I don't.
In 24?
Nope. I just I'm a bigger George Carlin fan than your average Joe. I can't stand most of his like latter stuff in his career. Like it's like good it's very good writing, and he's a expert orator, and I think he makes like a lot of like very nice points. But in like in a comedy special context, it's just not funny. And
you're talking about
like You Are All Diseased and like stuff like that. Yeah, because I think the last special I really liked as a special was like Rockin' in New Jersey or something like that.
God damn, he had another 5 or 6 in him.
Yeah,
damn.
And like he was like I said, he could write, but also he owed the government or the IRS like a shit ton on taxes, so he had to pump out a special every year.
Yeah.
So I mean, like nobody can really fucking do that and like maintain a really good like comedy whatever. So he's doing that like once a year, and then he was like addicted to painkillers and stuff like that, and he was just off of his shit. And
see, that's where I pick up with Carlin is what the hell am I doing in New Jersey? Yes, his last 2 specials, I do like that they were dark.
Right.
You could definitely tell because his last one, I think he was less than 6 months away from dying.
Yeah.
You could really see the mental slip happening. He was losing his space inside his sentences. He had to repeat a couple lines.
Yeah.
But I liked the darkness to it.
I do too. Because like I'm not saying like it's phenomenal writing one way or another.
Yeah.
Just in terms of comedy, I don't like it. And
see, like what the hell am I doing here in New Jersey when he's talking about Reagan and the administration?
Yeah.
I would like to have, because I think that's like a 10-minute, 15-minute bit inside of that entire set. I'd just like to have 15 minutes on like Trump, 2024 as a whole politically and all that, because I guarantee he'd be pointing at both sides. Both sides are lunatics.
Well, I mean, that's his job. Yeah. And I also feel like a lot of people who really like George Carlin are a lot of people who would probably vote for Trump. You know, just like that,
which is hilarious because you're
that's what I was about to say. Yeah, because I was like, he was a hip. There was like he did the AM/FM album where he did like his like cleaner stuff in the first half. That was like AM or something like that.
Yeah.
And then when he became like hippie Carlin, there was the whole like FM part of it. Yeah, because he had like a fucking mental breakdown on acid, and then he was like, I hate being this like clean cut piece of shit. I want to be like a long hair bearded piece of shit.
Yeah.
And so he became that. And yeah, because before that he was just like on talk shows like doing monologues, which in the 50s one of my favorite monologues ever is like the Indian drill sergeant or something like, or not drill sergeant, where he's like, he's like talking about how like in cowboy and Indian movies you always see like the cowboys like getting ready like for the big battle at the very end. He's like, I'm a military guy. I want to know what the Indians were doing. And then he said like he just does a whole bit just as like the Indian sergeant like getting his like soldiers ready. And he's like, there'll be a rain dance tomorrow, weather permitting, which is still one of the funniest things I've ever heard. Rain dance, weather permitting, is one of the funniest fucking things I've ever heard in my life, and I say that to this day. And then
that's hilarious. You know, Carlin was actually in the Air Force too.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. He got I think he dishonorably discharged. I know he got in trouble a lot.
Discharged over DUI. I don't know if it was dishonorable.
Sick.
Yeah. So you can have dishonorable, honorable, and less than honorable.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's like I think he had less than honorable.
Less than honorable.
Well, because dishonorable is a career killer. You will be lucky if you're like flipping burgers. Fortunately for him, he was already doing radio stuff outside of work. So when they let him go, he was able to go do that.
He's like, I can go flip burgers. The Air Force isn't mad at me. I can get a job at McDonald's. The Air Force isn't going to get in the way of my job at McDonald's.
No, what it is they're going to ask on your resume, like, what have you done previously? If you have a 4-year gap where you don't admit to being in the military, they'll be like, well, so did you fuck off for 4 years or what were you doing?
Yeah, I was in the Bahamas. Don't worry about it.
On Epstein's Island. No. And then they see like, oh, hey, you're discharged dishonorably. We don't do that. But McDonald's has kind of changed now where I think they're taking like people that have been out of prison and shit. So
yeah, well, like when I worked at Wendy's when I was like 22, I was working with felons.
Yeah,
and it's like cool because I mean, like anybody deserves a fucking job.
Yeah,
like absolutely. But like it's insane because I would be working with like 16-year-olds and a guy who stabbed a person.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are you letting this man around the 16-year-old girl? Like, that's insane. Like,
when I was before I joined the Air Force, I was a plumber, construction plumbing thing. But I was digging ditches for this plumbing company, and we had a registered sex offender on the books. We didn't know. We did. Only thing we knew is that he basically went from trade to trade on this construction site. He was a carpenter before us, and then when we fucking fired him, he was I think he was.
He
pouring
keeps whittling
concrete.
stuff into kids. I don't know what the deal is.
But we were wondering what it was. Like, why does this guy keep changing jobs? And what it was, that company that he was working for found out he was a pedo and had to go to the next one.
They always find out.
Yeah. Well, so what's weird is it wasn't the company that found out. My coworker, one of my good buddies at the time, he was moving and wanted to make sure that nobody was in the neighborhood and shit. So he does a background check. He's like, I work with this fucking dude. So he was wanting to come to work with posters printed out and like post them all over the place. I'm like,
Yeah.
pretty sure that'll get you fired too.
Which is, I mean, like, yeah, you can't expose like the worst human being on the planet. Like,
Yeah. That was doxing before the internet.
oh yeah, yeah, just posters where they have like a vague sketch of you. Like, it's just a guy with a sketch of a guy in a beard.
Oh, this was his police record.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was when I looked at him, like, oh my god. 'Cause I almost got into a fight with him a couple times.
You know, it's funny. Like, I've never seen a picture of a pedophile and been like, he doesn't look like he would do that.
Yeah, it's always like nailed it.
Yeah, I'm always like, you would do that to a child.
I actually have a sex offender to our south, like a quarter mile on the
You
other
should
side
get
of that
him
road
on the
there.
podcast.
Oh yeah, I would love that.
Yeah. Why don't you come to my basement?
Yeah, yeah. We'll just hire a couple guys to beat you in.
Yeah. We're gonna duct tape you to the chair and just spray you with water like a cat.
I'm sure YouTube's gonna love this video.
Oh, that's fine.
Torturing
Oh yeah.
sex offenders. Yeah. I hate the YouTube algorithm on the short side. So
Yeah.
I imagine have you met David Delgado? David Delgado.
I've met him for the first time multiple times.
So, yeah, he comes and goes. He's like me. He comes and goes.
Yeah,
probably
right,
more
exactly.
frequently than me. But he has really cool pool like billiards like stories. Almost all of them involve alcohol. If you look at my YouTube, my TikTok, and my Instagram right now,
Yeah.
anytime alcohol is mentioned, 0 views. Like literally, YouTube will not push it out. TikTok has like 3,500 views on one
So
of those
this shit
videos.
ain't going nowhere.
And we keep mentioning sex offenders by their specific.
We
type
could
of-
keep going about sex offenders. I'm a sex defender. Stop.
Speaking of texting and all that, are you are you single? Are you married? Like, what's?
I'm single. I'm actually
Are
doing
you
it.
on the apps or?
Good lord, dude, you are 38. I know, it's funny. I'm doing. I'm calling it No Hose November. I'm doing a celibate month because. Yeah, I was like, man, I was thinking about it. And I was like, I've never actually made love to a girlfriend. Like, I've like dated people and like, you fuck them because that's what you're supposed to do, according to the magazine.
That's how women feel special. Feel like an obligation.
No.
All right, let's get this over with.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Formula One's on.
Yeah. No, but I was like, I've never like had like a special moment. Like, it's just so I was like, man, I kind of just, I'm just gonna like take a break from that.
You said you're 28.
Yeah.
God, I think I was on my second marriage at 28.
Yeah. No. Well, when did you get into the military?
2007.
Well, how old were you?
20.
You were
And I was a virgin.
Yeah, so you should be divorced like 4 times if you got
Yeah,
in like 20.
It is true. The military.
because they give you
sucks.
they give you a Challenger and a wife within your first 2 years of
A
duty.
Challenger comes with like 25% interest.
Yeah, but they don't know that. It's just a guy with a shitty haircut, and you're like, yeah, you want to, yeah,
My haircut's
you're
real
doing,
shitty
yeah,
right
you're
now.
doing HVAC for your country. You should pull up to the good God, man. Yeah, you need a haircut.
Yeah.
More than I do.
Well, I like when I'm off duty to people not instantly go, "Oh, he's in the military."
Yeah, that's
So-
got to be nice. I like how also military haircut is the same haircut of every dude, every fuckboy, I guess you'd call him. You know, the fade on the
Fuckboy,
side.
and what I hate, because I am on the apps, if you look at my haircut, so like I'm not just interested in white chicks. Like I have a palette.
Way to go,
and,
brother. Same.
And unfortunately, they go, "Oh, look at this Tiki Torch white haircut. I guarantee that guy's MAGA." Like, no. I just have a military haircut.
No, I actually think marijuana is really cool.
Yeah.
I'm a liberal in the military.
I'll be able to say that in 2 years and 2 months. So.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm thinking about getting high for the first time on the podcast.
Have you-
January of 2027.
Have you never smoked weed?
I have never smoked weed.
You probably are going to smoke it and nothing's going to happen to you. Just because that's usually what happens is you smoke pot like 2 or 3 times and then like nothing happens to you. And then like you do it that first time for the first time and like you fucking die.
So
you become
weed,
a nuisance.
I don't actually want to smoke the actual like weed. Like I'll do like vape pens and shit, but I actually want to go down like the psychedelic angle there. Like I want to.
I can
get to
tell.
DMT.
Look at your fucking hoodie.
Yeah, man.
You look insane.
EpicHoodies.com. Call me. Oh,
Jesus.
try to get fucking sponsors.
Yeah, dude. I've done plenty of psychedelics. I think they're, whatever. I don't really get into the whole medicine side of it. I think it's cool if like, tripping your nuts off makes you discover that you're a piece of shit. I think that's like cool, like whatever it takes. But it's always the grossest looking people who like come up to like who have that idea. And I'm like, your idea of medicine should be brushing your teeth. How about showering first before
Let's
you
start with the basics?
Yeah, before you prescribe me veggies that grow on shit, you should probably take a shower first before you're like, hey, I got doo-doo veggies that are gonna make you less of an asshole.
Trying to think of anybody that. There's nobody really on the scene that's doing that though. Everybody I've seen, like completely unwashed, just like. Granted, I think if you're enjoying psychedelics to that point, you probably don't need stand up to fill that void in your heart. So I feel like the overlap between...
Oh, man. I know, like, there's, like, a shit ton of comics who are just constantly on mushrooms.
I might have them out here.
Yeah. I'm just like, yeah, y'all can, like, hang out. I'm sure they would...
trip out of my background.
Yeah, just like, oh, my God, I'm jerking the dick off. Oh, my God, it's like real life. No, I fucking... Yeah, I don't know. I've always thought that, like, mushroom stuff was funny because, like, everybody who gets, like, really into mushrooms... I think you just have to like get into shamans and like native people fucking knowledge because I guess that's the thing you do. And they're like, yeah, the shaman would like eat these like mushrooms and then like bestow wisdom on the village. And you're like, oh yeah, the smartest guy in the village eats off his shit.
Yeah.
That's where you're getting your religious advice is the guy like chomping turds.
The guy tripping balls.
The guy with shit in his teeth. Just like if you don't throw your son off of a cliff, the sun will explode. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds like something somebody who eats shit would say.
That's a poisoned mind.
Yeah.
Did you see Ancient Apocalypse?
No. Was
on
that like
Netflix?
a History Channel? Oh, no.
So I loved the first season because it focused on like archaeological like evidence of a pre-Ice Age like civilization.
Right.
By the end of the second season, the guy, he's on Rogan a lot. For some reason, we flipped over to like the psychedelic shaman side. I'm like, wait. Where I was looking at archaeological shit. Like, yes, I want to try DMT myself, but I'm solely concentrated on like the facts of what's in here. Like, I don't care about a shaman's journey to this, that, and the other. Like,
I don't care either. Like it's. I like the history. I want to like. I love archaeology.
Yeah,
I love
you
that
would
shit.
love that show.
Okay, I would love it until season 2 when they're like, "Hey, shit-eating guy over here is like, I think aliens built the fucking pyramids."
So it doesn't cross into that. It crosses into. I'm trying to think what anchored the psychedelics to that show. Oh my god. I think it was the way they tracked the stars and everything, because like the Incas are huge into like obviously their calendar and everything, which tracked with the stars and all that stuff. I just forget what the leap was to the shamanship. I was like, this is fucking dumb. But like the ancient apocalypse theory is Ice Age happened, basically ended 12,500 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
There is a known meteor cataclysm that hit the Earth at that point. It's in the fossil record, like a shit ton of like micro, like diamonds and shit that had been dug up. There is.
Okay.
what he's taken those facts and then trying to link that to a civilization that we didn't know about because it was wiped off the earth, basically. And what's showing is like the oldest known pyramid, like I just saw it in the news, is in the Philippines or like somewhere in those like islands, like off of like New Guinea or whatever the fuck. Like
Yeah,
that
I know what
area
you're
is.
talking
Yeah.
about.
They just pushed that back like another 30,000 years, like the original work on that. So that was like the first
Yeah.
place he visited, and then he hopped up to Turkey. There's a underground complex. They have no idea really how old it is,
Yeah.
but they think that part of that was during that ice age like break and everything. It's really interesting on the archaeological side. I don't know what the fuck happened to that dude halfway through though.
Netflix just likes to do that where they throw curveballs at you, and it's cool. Like it was fun the first couple times they did a documentary. I just got done watching one about like the Zodiac killer.
I'm thinking about watching that.
It's cool. I like the movie. I'm a fucking Jake Gyllenhaal mega fan. I don't know why. I just like love his shit.
Yeah.
I think he's a very handsome gentleman. No, but like the entire fucking documentary, they're like, we think it was this guy named Lee, like David Lee or something, whatever his name is.
David Lee Roth?
Yeah, no. They're like, I think
The
it's
spandex should have gave that
Lee.
away.
I think it's Lee Allen. I think that's his
Okay.
name. So the entire documentary, they follow like a family that was like close personal friends with this guy who was doing all these killings. And then they just lean into that like a motherfucker. And then like the very end of it, they're like, there's new evidence coming out all the time and it's still an open case. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? You just spent the entire goddamn thing telling me that it was this fucking jerk off that like nobody could like ever arrest for some reason, even when they like caught him with bombs and shit in his basement.
Dude.
I was like, yeah, they like that. Oh my God. I was so pissed. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Dude, I got really mad at this other documentary I was watching. It was called like Bad Doctor or something like that. Okay.
Okay.
And there's this like there's this fella named like Dr. Mariachini or something like that. Okay. And he's like he's a surgeon. Sorry, I got distracted by your
Oh, no,
fucking
you're good.
your thing. He's like a surgeon and stuff, okay? And like his whole thing is that like he's making these like plastic larynxes and or whatever, like an esophagus, if you will, like a windpipe, okay?
Okay.
So he's got these things.
Is that how you pronounce esophagus?
Esophagus?
Yeah.
I heard Alec Baldwin do it on SNL once, and I was like,
Okay.
that's
The
that's how I
canker?
say it now.
Yeah, I think it was the canker.
Yeah, he's a bad doctor. But anyway, he's a surgeon who's just got like he's just 3D printing windpipes in like his basement. And he's like, we should start putting these in people who have like throat cancer. So these people come in and they have like, they got cancer in their throat and stuff. And he's like, we're going to slap this bad boy in you and you're going to be cured. And then like, lo and behold, these people die. And and they're like, we can't believe this happened. I'm like, oh, some guy named Dr. Macaroni put a kazoo in your neck and you died?
Well,
Every
the
time they got done
pacemaker-
talking, somebody was like, Manomenon. Or
Yeah.
something.
The pacemaker was actually invented in a barn. So I mean,
Nice.
yeah, just throw
Cows-
shit together. Like,
Yeah, well, I would trust a dude in a barn more than some like Dr. Macaroni guy with like too much. But they make a big point out of his like girlfriend or fiance or whatever is like he had like 6 phones and that was like a little weird. And I was like,
might be a good
drug
one.
dealers have 2. What
Yeah.
the fuck is he doing with 6 phones? Like,
I want to get to that point. Have a second phone for the podcast.
that would be.
Have people like call in. Say, hey, I got an itch. Like, what should the
Yeah.
comic like suggest for me? Like,
Yo, I
I
want
don't
to. That would be all right. Yeah. This is my comedy phone.
it'd be
That's
fantastic.
where I I whisper my riffs into the microphone.
Then broadcast it to
Mm-hmm.
dozens of people.
Sure.
Did you see Evil Genius on Netflix?
I saw the fucking thing. I didn't watch it.
It is so fucking good.
Well, is that what you had? Like,
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I was looking at. I was trying to remember the name of it.
Yeah.
Basically, in Erie, Pennsylvania, some guy walks into a bank with like this huge bulge like under his shirt.
I thought you meant
And-
like he had a huge penis. Or
Yeah,
something.
huge penis. No, and he tells, "Hey, I got a bomb under this shirt. Give me all the money in this bank." And immediately the police show up. Like literally the police are like 5 minutes away. So by the time this guy gets out of the fucking thing, he's already like surrounded and shit. And he tells them like, hey, like I am being forced against my will to do this shit. This bomb on my chest is actually like ratcheted to my fucking torso. And they're not believing him, and like his head gets blown off.
Sick, dude. It's like
literally-
Jigsaw. It's
yeah.
like a Saw movie. Didn't they make a movie like that with like Jesse Eisenberg or something like that?
I think so. Well, yeah, that's actually based off of that.
Oh, okay.
But what they find
With a
out,
good ending.
I never actually watched that.
Oh,
What
well,
they find out though is the person that constructed it, the actual bomb and everything, wasn't the mastermind to it. And that's where the evil genius thing comes from. Is there's this
so there's
person
layers?
that is always like involved with it, and they actually didn't catch her for that specific thing. But when they do like prison phone interviews and everything, she's like completely out of her fucking mind. This guy's like
Yeah.
trying to convince them that like, yeah, she's the mastermind to this.
she's strapping bombs to
so-
motherfuckers.
But she's not. She's convincing other people to do it, and she has that plausible deniability. It's fucking wild.
only a woman
yeah.
could convince motherfuckers to build a bomb.
And she's smart as fuck. She was actually like on.
You said
was
she's
it-
hot?
No, she's smart. She's
Oh, I was
not
gonna
the
I was
greatest-
gonna say like you get this sounds like a hot
Oh.
girl thing where you're like, hey, go put a bomb on this guy for me.
She has like a master's degree. Yeah, it's not actually watch the fucking thing.
I think that would be a cool
genius.
segment of the podcast where we don't talk
Yeah,
and then we
That's
all
the
right.
person right there. She's not the hottest. In the world.
All right. Well, maybe, after 4 beers I'd put a bomb on somebody.
Trying to find her name. Marjorie Deal Armstrong. That might be her. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, her.
Man, I think it's more like she looks threatening rather than pretty.
She definitely looks like what was her name from Monster? She's the first known female serial killer in Florida.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, this whole fucking thing is wild.
That's a
dude.
bomb-making motherfucker right there.
No, so that's actually the victim.
Oh, that guy died.
Yeah.
They could have picked a better picture for him.
Well, they
God
think,
rest his soul, man.
I think they said he was actually special needs. Like the reason
No, don't
why
say that after I just called him fucking crazy looking.
when he shows up, they convince him to come into the building, and that's when they strapped him on there. Like that's how he got involved in that. Watch it, dude. I'm telling you. Watch the fucking show.
That's weaponized autism where
Yeah.
you're like, hey, what if you made a bomb?
It's so fucking crazy. I'm trying to think of some other really good Netflix documentaries.
I don't really.
I love documentaries.
I do too. I'm a.
The serial killer shit's draining though. I can watch it, but I'm like, all right, I need a couple days off.
Well,
Like,
it's always the same fucking story where it's like, just like he, we never expected him. It's like, do it. And then it's like, you look
Yeah.
at them. It's like what we were talking about earlier. Like you see a photo of him. I'm like, yeah, he did it. That's the guy.
see, that's not the exhausting thing. The exhausting thing for me is it's usually the start of a new episode.
Mm-hmm.
They have this flowery thing about this person that hasn't even been mentioned yet.
Mm-hmm.
How innocent he was as a child. Da, 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 da. And then you find out that Dahmer fucking ate him. You're just like, God damn it, dude. Like
Yeah.
this innocent person that's literally just going to a gay club to like blow stress or whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking ends up like the deaf dude. I don't know if you
Yeah.
saw the Dahmer show.
No, I did.
Holy
Party
fuck, was
hardy.
that dark? Yeah.
I
I felt so bad for that deaf kid though.
Oh
It
man,
was-
that shit. Yeah, that was tough because like.
I literally had to take a week off of just like, let me just get the fuck away from TV.
Well, it's like there was also, I think, like to me, the most impactful part about that show, besides like his like really fun Wisconsin accent, him saying stuff like "party hardy," which is awesome. No, like what the most impactful part was like there was that like Filipino kid who like almost got away, and then
He
like
drilled the side of his head. And
yeah,
shit,
and then he woke up and he was like, "Al, you're gonna strip that bolt," and then like he like left, and then he runs up to two police officers and he's like, his head's been like fucking mangled by a DeWalt, so he can't like elaborate what's going on. and
The
these two police
cops are
officers,
wild.
they're like insanely racist to this like little Filipino boy, and then Dahmer shows up. He's like, yeah, he's my boyfriend. We're doing gay stuff.
Yeah.
This is all part of gay stuff. And they're like, that's what all of you do.
So the years before that, I guess that part of Wisconsin was known for like profiling like the gay community. So they had
Yeah.
all of this training to be like, hey, you need to be a lot more accepting of like the stuff that goes on in the community. So when they have this dude with a hole drilled in the side of his fucking head, I don't think they saw the hole in the side of his head, but they saw he was acting weird.
Yeah.
All this stuff. They're like, oh, this is just like gay stuff. And so like basically the training that was poorly executed for these cops is like their safety blanket to be like, oh, we just thought it was gay shit.
Yeah, that's what gay people do.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude, that show is so goddamn dark.
It was
a week. I had to go a week, just like, all right, let me go work out at the gym. Like, I got to get this shit out of my head.
I think that's very admirable, and I'm very envious of that because I think that's like a difference in your generation and mine because you're only like 10 years older than me.
Yeah,
but like,
38.
yeah, but like, I think people around my age are so desensitized to like violence and stuff like that. And everything else, it's just fucking like I know
it's showing in your porn stars. I'll tell you that.
Oh my god,
porn stars your age are out of their fucking minds,
dude. Yeah, dude. I'm like,
some of the shit they do. You're like, I've literally most porn they have like the interview process.
I've never seen porn.
You never seen porn? Wow, you really gotta.
I'm just fucking with you. Go ahead.
They have the this guy is asking this chick like, how are you doing this crazy shit? Like you do shit crazier than anybody I've ever seen. She's like, well, I grew up on this shit. Like 12, 13 is when she started watching the hardcore shit.
Yeah, it's dude, it's so ingrained into like everything in our society. Like it is like our society has become like so fucking, porn minded and like fucking like sex addicted.
Your first instinct when you see somebody on TV or social media is, I wonder if she has her own OnlyFans. That's not like linked to sex.
I think that's you, brother. I want to know if she's got a high school diploma. Yeah. I like an educated broad.
High school's educated, huh?
No, yeah, I mean that's all I got. But
aim higher, bro.
Yeah, man. If they would have me, I would. No, but like it's in everything because like you can't get on like Instagram or TikTok or like anything without like some lady like
OnlyFans link being thrown at
shaking sniz at you, and you're like, I just can I like have a day? You know what's crazy is that like
no, not November,
dude. Yeah, fucking.
I've already busted that. So.
I haven't done it yet. I just.
What today's the 3rd? No, 2nd. So you're 2 days strong.
Oh man, I was fucking. I was thinking about it, dude. In one day, as a modern man, I've seen more. I can see more naked women in one day than my grandfather ever did in his life. Yeah. Yeah, and it's
unless he was the biggest whore ever.
I hope he was. I hope he got it out of his system. No, actually, no. He was in Vietnam, so that raises questions if he did. No, but it's just it can't be healthy to see that much. Like if you see a naked woman and you're like, what if you had Cheerios in your ass? What would that be like? Like that's the only thing I can do.
That's weird.
Yeah,
there's a specific studio that like highlights it. They fucking open up and
that's part of growing up in this country is your buddy or someone's older brother sits you down and like, you ever see Fruit Loops in an asshole? Yeah. And you're just like, I'm different now.
We wonder why romance is dead. Like, I've literally seen a chick with her asshole as a cereal bowl.
Yeah, my ex, she could only put Fruit Loops in her ass, and I was like, I'm a fucking Captain Crunch guy. Get the fuck out of here.
That's gonna be some rectal bleed, right there.
God, yeah, dude.
That fucks up the roof of your mouth. Imagine what it does to your lower intestine.
I love that's good pain. That's good pain. I'm into like BDSM with my breakfast cereal. I'm like, it's gotta hurt for me to love you.
So what you do is once you get desensitized to that, you have to start putting Monopoly pieces on there.
Yeah, I got to start chewing on a cactus or something. That's like how I do dip. Speaking of breakfast cereal, Captain Crunch, dude,
is amazing.
It's the best. It's so good, dude. That and Life. I like Life.
I don't know if I've had Life.
Life is good. All right, I don't.
Yeah, no,
I feel so bad looking at that guy. No, what I do with like my Captain Crunch is you do the milk, you pour it on there, and then you get like heavy whipping cream, and you drizzle heavy whipping cream on that.
I have never heard that.
Oh my god, holy Toledo, dude! I could live the rest of my life eating nothing but that Captain
Really?
Crunch with heavy whipping cream on it.
You know what
Brother.
I miss back in the day is Apple Jacks. They changed their
You wish it was the Jamaican guy still?
no
The Jamaican cinnamon?
the
The guy who
cinnamon
talks
was
like Chet
banging.
Hanks?
It used to be so good.
They should get Chet Hanks. Did you see him doing like the Jamaican accent for a while?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, fucking Tom Hanks' son Chet Hanks just had a
Oh,
fucking
yeah, Tom
Jamaican
Hanks'
accent
son.
for like a few
Yeah.
years, and they should get that guy to be the new cinnamon guy for
Yeah.
Apple Jacks.
That'd be fucking wild. Oh my god! I
No, but
totally
what were you
forgot
saying?
for a while that Tom Hanks' son was like getting them both in trouble.
Yeah, dude, he's fucking. That's a wild boy.
Yeah.
I mean, if your dad is Tom Hanks, you do whatever the fuck you want. I just think it's insane how wildly different they look from each other.
Yeah.
Because like you could just tell that like Chet Hanks just grew up high on cocaine. Like as soon as like he was like able to like walk, he was like, I know what I'm gonna do, and then he just became like that dude, the guy at a party who's like probably gonna beat the shit out of you.
Did you see Tom Hanks cuss on live TV?
No, that's awesome.
So he was doing
There's
promo.
a fucking snake in his boot.
No, yeah, he was doing promo for Cloud Atlas, and the cool thing with Cloud Atlas is it literally has like 6 timelines.
Yeah.
and he plays a different person. All that.
Right.
One of them, he's like a bouncer that cusses a lot. And they were asking him like, "Oh, we know you did a lot of improv during like could you improv as a specific character?" He's like, "I don't want to do that." And he's like, they kept pounding him. He's like, all right, well, over here at the door, the fucking. He like pauses. He's like, oh shit. He's like, well, next time I'm on here, there's gonna be a 10-second delay because it was Forrest Gump. Like you don't predict that he's gonna be cussing and shit.
Jesus fucking Christ, Jenny. I think if there's anybody who should have cussed more, it's Forrest.
Yeah.
I think Jenny would have
I
been a little
heard
nicer to him.
people that have read the Forrest Gump book
Yeah.
that he's actually a really bitter person. I don't know if he cusses a lot, but I know Forrest Gump in the book is actually like pissed at the world.
I mean, I would be too. If like the love of my life got AIDS and came back and we had an AIDS baby together, I'd be a little grouchy too.
Yeah. That being shot in Vietnam.
Yeah, just like I
getting
got my
dumped off.
ass cheek blown off in Vietnam and all I get is AIDS baby. A Purple Heart and an AIDS baby.
It's the worst. We are coming up on an hour. I'm trying to think.
Oh, cool.
We said you got your show
Mhm.
at Club Pomp. I'll cut this out of the podcast and drop this before 8 p.m. tonight.
Yeah.
You said Club Palms tonight, which is the 2nd of November, 8 p.m., 7:30 door. And then November 14th, I got to talk to Tracy and figure out when the exact time is here.
I might be able to just look it up on my phone real quick.
There you go.
Yeah.
But that Looney's gig, Tracy's Hoedown is fucking amazing. The idea behind the Hoedown is Tracy has all of these shows going on at Looney's.
Right.
And Hoedown actually stands for habitual offenders.
Mm-hmm.
People that have a bunch of positive reviews and like the write-in cards or whatever. Tracy collects those people and has them as the habitual offenders on the next show. So when you see a Hoedown at Loney's, it is literally the best of the best that Tracy is able to collect. And I hope that was enough of a delay to get a time from you.
Yeah. Show at 7:30.
All right. So November 14th, 7:30 at Looney's. We can go ahead and see Bren McDaniel there. Do you know who else is on that card?
Lou Ferris, Leonion. I don't know. My dad's from Louisiana and I can't pronounce French names. Lou Ferris, Lane. Mike Hammock is going to headline it.
Oh shit!
And
He
there's-
just did kill Tony a couple
yeah.
weeks ago.
Sick.
Now I can't talk at the end of the podcast.
There's one other person, and I feel like a bastard that I totally.
Can't you just pull it up?
Yeah, but I was looking at the time. I wasn't going to be like, who's my competition? There's going to be a winner.
Let's see.
Who's
if I
my
can find
competition?
it.
I can just pull it up again, too.
See if Tracy has it. Tracy.
Thad
Thad
B.
B. How did you forget Thad
and Mo
B?
Vita. Yeah.
Thad B. I got to have him back. I just had him on a couple. Is this you? No, it's at the queue. There you go. Anywho. Oh, there you go. Boom.
Right, yeah.
Movito, Lou Ferris, Thad B. It's so weird that he goes by his whole name on these posters. Lane, yeah, Low Neon, Brent McDaniel.
And then,
There you
yeah,
go.
yours truly.
There you go. Get tickets at looniescc.com. If you're in the Springs, you already know where the hell Loonies is at there. So get your ass down to those shows. I'm going to try to get Tracy on here pretty soon, too. Any parting shots for our followers? Oh, yeah. Oh, your fucking handles. What the fuck am I doing? I'm not doing my research. Your handles for social media, any and all of them.
Just Bren McDaniel, BrenMcDaniel. It's just Bren McDaniel.
There you go.
And then if you want to be friends on Facebook, it's Brendan McDaniel with an E at the end because my mother is she's different than most gals. You know,
Oh,
she's
man.
going to spell Brendan different. Yeah. So
Name difficulties are the worst.
Oh yeah, that's good. And it's funny because I've lived so many different places. I've heard Brendan pronounced like 30 different ways.
Yeah.
So it's so fun. That's why Bren is just like to the point.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Alrighty, y'all. It was good seeing everybody. Hope you guys have a good week, and we will see you next week with a person whose name I can't remember right now. So have fun. Bye.